Now, today is, of course, Valentine's Day. James Creedon is here with my flowers.
Yes.
He'll be presenting them in a moment.
They're under the table.
Before we get to that, though, it does, of course, mean loved ones around the world are exchanging the traditional gifts of flowers, chocolates and the ever-present little fluffy teddy bears. Well, the occasion feels sweeter than ever today in the city of Mosul in Iraq. The festival was banned on pain of death while the Islamic State was in charge of the city. Now romantics are making the most of the tradition. Take a listen to this.
Today I bought this bear of love. I celebrate the Day of Love because before, under the Islamic State group, it was forbidden. It was possible to be killed for such things. This was the most basic way in which they forbade things and did what they did.
Well, that James Creedon and my flowers now. Here he is. Hello there,
You
James.
already got a bunch,
didn't you?
You already got a bunch
I
of flowers
did,
today.
I
You don't
did.
need two.
Thank you so much. Now, we're going to start, before we get to all the lovely, mushy stuff, we're going to start in South Africa, aren't we? Jacob
Yes.
Zuma, desperately clinging to power for now, although in around 15 minutes he is going to address
right.
the nation.
I
So
know.
who knows?
Gosh.
Is he going to go? Will he stay or will he go? As some rock bands
It's an
might
unhappy
say.
Valentine's Day. Probably
Yes.
shouldn't really mention that. But anyway.
But yes,
I'll just show
you've
you
been
look
looking
at
at
the
the press
papers.
reaction, haven't you?
That's right. The long goodbye, the Citizen. That's the second biggest daily in South Africa, and they're talking about just this drawn-out process of.
An awful long goodbye, isn't it?
That's right. Now, one of an MP in the has referred to him as deranged, psychotic, insane, and of unsound mind. There she is, photographed with him when she probably had a better opinion of him, but that on the basis of his TV interview this afternoon, which the Mail and Guardian in South Africa referred to as rambling. It did tend to go on quite a bit. Meanwhile, Le Point, the news weekly here in France, in their Africa pages, they also have a lot of criticism for him, saying that he's going to leave by the petite porte, or kind of in an undignified manner, if you like, and that he's choosing a much more complicated way to leave. Tomorrow, of course, there is due to be a confidence vote, and they say that he's really been opening himself up for humiliation.
And trending on Twitter is the hashtag Zuma out, and it has been for a few days now, and it seems obviously a lot of South Africans are behind that.
That's right. There's also Zexit, but I've had enough of these exit hashtags. They're getting a little bit too omnipresent. Omnipresent and ominous. You can see here lots of more morbid images being used on social media to signal his departure and the drawn-out nature of it. A new spelling for the word defiant as well, including deaf. You can see there that hashtag Zexit that I was talking about. And here some photoshoppery has made it on to Twitter as well. That is not really Jacob Zuma, but I suppose it is a metaphor of sorts, a visual one.
Being dragged out kicking and screaming.
That's right.
By his own party.
Proverbial cat of 9 lives. Tomorrow President Zuma will face the 9th motion of no confidence. Or will he? ... Stay tuned for what's going to happen later this evening. A lot of unity amongst the political parties in South Africa. I wish all these political parties could be united like they are now, not only in removing Jacob Zuma, but to benefit this country as well and put aside their hidden agendas. Another tweet here expressing something similar. Jacob Zuma uniting political parties since the 14th of February 2018. And as I said, the 14th of February is also Valentine's Day, and there is this final image on the whole Zuma story. After Zuma, let's not elect another president. We should just be single for a few years to recover from all of this. I think Belgium went without a government for quite a while, didn't it? So there is a precedent in that regard.
Yes.
And you should always have a bit of a break between committed.
Germany been without a government for quite a long time as well.
That's right.
All right. Okay.
Don't jump straight into another relationship.
No, absolutely. Good advice from James there. And of course, it is the first Valentine's Day since the Me Too campaign kicked off, isn't it? About sexual harassment and that kind of thing. I wonder if it feels slightly different this time around.
Well, it's interesting. I was kind of trying to find content
sexist?
on this. Is romance dead? I mean, there's all sorts of these questions now. Can you send an unsolicited Valentine's card,
Probably
or is
not.
it not allowed? In any case, there is one agency where creatives offer their own Me Too era take on the classic Valentine's Day card. Now, this is the London-based creative duo Connor, Stephen and Charlie Dithfield. This is Ad Week, and I think I just did a bit of advertising for them, so I'm not sure that's actually strictly speaking allowed, but the cards are interesting. On the inside, you see, there's a little very contemporary message. I give you the key to my heart. But no obligation if you don't want it. That's absolutely
That'll
fine.
make you weak at the knees, that one, wouldn't it?
I'll always be right by your side. Not right by your side, at a respectful distance. And when I say always, only as long as you're comfortable. So now, what's interesting here actually is this did get some criticism by the Huffington Post UK, who thought this was all in bad taste.
Yeah.
They said it was disappointingly predictable and the perfect example of male privilege, and implied that it made light of a very serious problem. In any case, the duo said that we're hoping that to provoke discussion in a more casual. I think it's kind of funny.
Oh, it's
we
tongue
need
in
to lighten
cheek.
up a little bit.
Come on. Sense of humour failure.
Right. Now, and if
me.
all that fails, there is this interesting piece about how technology can make Valentine's Day much better. Implants, artificial technology.
What?
So we won't have to rely on smoke signals. You know, if you want flowers, I'll have known that.
Oh, I see. What do
I'll
you
come
mean?
on set with flowers. Artificial intelligence implants, right? Transhumanism. It's the future.
I've lost you.
Well, it's just like basically putting implants into brains so that we can read each other's minds.
Telepathically.
Yes.
Okay.
So
We're a while away from that now, aren't we?
date a
You're
robot.
jumping ahead a little bit, aren't you?
Date a robot. It's the future.
All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day.
You
May it be
too.
full of romance and joy. Thank you very
Indeed.
much.